OB17, meaning patch 17 of the beta. This is Yorm patch. We're gonna do a tier list, so we'll go in OB17 Yorm patch. Boom, god tier list. Let's lock it in. Let's get it going. Achilles, feeling like Achilles. He's not doing a whole lot. He's not a great jungler, he's not a great solo, but he's not bad. You're not trolling. Agni got some nerfs, but I think Agni's still doing very well. I like Agni in the mid lane with full cooldown. I like Agni ADC still, or auto attack in the ADC role. And that's the thing. Someone asked me the top ADCs. ADC Agni is top tier. People struggle to play it for whatever reason. I've done videos on it. It's also very good in the jungle. I think it's still insanely strong, and crit on him is still ridiculous. Aladdin, probably still the best or one of the best gods in the game. Pretty much banned every game. He has a very slow start, but as soon as he has 4 items online, 5 items for sure, he can land on somebody and one-shot them. It's very hard to play around it. I'm similar to Achilles, just missing a real true role to play right now. She's okay. I wouldn't say you're trolling, but I wouldn't prioritize playing her. Honor, I think it's a solid ADC, decent mobility, CC immunity. People struggle between the aspect and the non-aspect. I'm doing all non-aspects right now. As you can see, we'll go through aspects after. I think Honor is arguable a top 5 ADC right now. Good CC. If you don't go aspect, you can pen and kill tanks very, very easily, which is definitely a strat. So I like Honor. Anubis doing a little better in this patch, but not consistently viable. Just a lot of pressure early. There are builds that make him work because anti-heal is now gone. Just gonna throw that out there. Not great, but builds can make him work if you really want to play him. Aphrodite, I think Afro is situational because I don't think she's a good mid. I don't think she's a good solo. I think she's a support god, but you need to understand how to play her aggressively and be aggressive with her. And if you can't play her in the support role. So that's why I have her in C. It's just more situational to the type of player you are and to your skill level. Apollo, very good god. Top 5 ADCs for sure. High mobility, good 1v1 potential, good self peel with the mez, good mobility with the 3. His 3, I think, is actually a little busted. It's a 5 or 6 second slow. If you slow somebody, you're also giving movement speed to yourself or your teammates at the end of the 3. Pretty OP. Ares, top support, banned every game. A lot of gods can't stand being crippled, so he just counters a lot of people. He also has ridiculous sustain off of his 2. Artemis. I'm not an Artemis believer, but Artemis does well in mid to low level ranked. So it is definitely worth playing. It's just very easy for you to be run at. So you have to be an aggressive player to play her. Athena, I think, is a sleeper support. They've done their best to buff her up a little bit, and I believe she is a very, very, very good support god that's easy to play. So play it. Wheelix, I think Wheelix sucks. I wouldn't say F tier, but I think you can't play her as a counter pick, and she doesn't do enough damage. Her 2 is insanely weak in this game compared to Smite 1. Bacchus, I like Bacchus. I don't think I put him as a high tier support because he does have bad matchups, and he's very easy to kill, in my opinion, once he flops in. But definitely something you can play if you aren't really comfortable in other supports. Baron, I like Baron a lot, but I don't know. You're not going to play non-aspect Baron anywhere but support. Maybe solo, but probably not. You're probably just going to play it support. And I think it's another Afro where it's just hard to play. So I would not recommend it. Bellona, auto attack warrior. I just don't like Bellona. I don't like auto attack warriors right now. Everyone would argue B tier. I think the builds just don't favor it, if that makes sense. If you're not against multiple auto attack gods, I'd say C tier. I'd say it really requires you to be against multiple auto attack gods to get full value out of Nemean and being in people's faces. Kraken, very strong. Hyper tanky right now. Can be played support. Can be played solo. I wouldn't play it in jungle. I wouldn't play it damage. I'd play it as a tank of some sort. Almost impossible to kill. Crazy lockdown. One of the better team fight guardians in the game. Serb, solid god. Support solo. Not peak. Not OP. Just solid. That's about it. CERN, situational. You have no CC immunity, so you can play it. I wouldn't say you're trolling, but you're gonna die a lot. You're not gonna have a lot of favorable matchups, and you're also just going to die every time you get ganked. Chalk, I like full damage Chalk. I'm starting to come around to hybrid Chalk. I still think full damage Chalk is OP solo. Once you get the team fights, I think it's broken. Tank Chalk, probably easier for you to play throughout a match because you won't die as much, but I think the damage fall off you feel from it is very noticeable compared to some of the other warriors, like Mordred and other warriors you can play and still do good damage. Cupid, like him, just don't like that he doesn't have a CC immunity. His dash, he's really far. His ultimate counters like 90% of the gods. Like literally, if you're looking at this, Cupid counters Aladdin, Agni, Not Honor, because Honor can ult it, but you're not going to get aggressed on. It counters Apollo. It can counter Chalk. It can counter Achilles. It can counter Athena. It can counter Bacchus. It can counter Serb. It can counter CERN. It can counter Oelix. Like, cripples are fucking strong in this game. Crazy strong in this game. Danza. My only issue with Danza is I don't feel like he's an ADC. I don't think he's a bad god, but I think he's an ability hunter, so that puts him more in mid or jungle than anything. I don't think you're trolling at ADC. It's fine, but I'd much rather you play it in other roles as like a bursty mage build all day. Fenrir, you need to play against people that are not going to either you're going to go full damage or you're going to instant eye. So you need people to not target you. So I don't even know if I'd say it's situational. I'd say it's god based. You need to be able to kill gods that can't and not be able to peel from you. So Vulcan can't get away from you. Kukulkan can't get away from you, but Kukulkan can kind of trade. There's a lot of hunters that you might be able to play decent against, but they're going to have self-peel like Cupid ult. They're going to have Apollo Mez. You have to really hone in on the gods that you just aren't going to be countered by, and you're going to be able to punish for whatever reason. Because he does do a lot of damage. I'd suggest going a hybrid build over the damage build. The damage build is auto attack. You don't even go ability damage on Fenrir because it's so weak. I'd argue go tanky for sure and be more useful. You just then aren't a hard carry. I like Ganesh support. I think it's top 5 hyper value. The 2 is OP. Geb, I think, is a little slept on, but kind of like Athena level. You can be aggressive with Geb. You can be defensive with Geb. I like the play style. It's just the early laning phase that people struggle with. Guan, I think, is extremely mid and over. People try to hype him up. I guarantee you on this tier list video, there's 30 comments that are like, my Guan is top tier. I win every game. No, you don't. No, you don't. I get that a snowballing Guan, just like a snowballing every god in this game, is very annoying. When a game is even, the god is nowhere near as good as a lot of other frontline gods. Would not recommend Guan. You definitely can't play Guan full damage in jungle or other roles either. Hades, they're trying to make Hades viable, but I don't think it is. I'd say situational. They can't get out of your ult, which is almost never. Hecate, slow build up, but a fine mid laner. Hercules, I think, is insanely strong still, mainly as a jungle. The passive is OP, but still a very good solo. Little bit slept on solo. You need to be able to play the god and hit your pulls. Way easier to hit your pulls in Smite 2. Ho Yi, best hunter in the game. I would rather not play against Ho Yi. They set up, they made with the ultimate and the bounces is ridiculous. Play Ho Yi ADC every game if they leave it open. Mulan, people are trying to hype it up and play it too much. Still think it's weak, but it does a little more viability in the solo lane. Hunbats, top jungler. Would I ban it though? I don't think I'd ban Bats. Bats is annoying and very, very strong, but I think he would be the one I didn't ban because you could play around it if you're playing smart. Very strong god right now though. Izanami weak as fuck. I played her the other day and it feels like her stealth breaks no matter what. Janice, busted. Busted. Nobody gives Janice the credit right now. I don't know why. If you are playing Janice correctly and building correctly, you hit hard as... It's ridiculous. Your 4-second cooldown on your 2 that hits hard as most people's regular abilities. Your mobility is insane. Your ultimate, your portals will win your team fights. I think Janice is probably the best mid mage. The one bad side of Janice is your early game, and that's if the other team tries to be aggressive on you, or counterpart, if you're not safe. If you play to your walls, you're never getting ganked. I think Janice is top mid in the game. And while you might spend your bans on other gods, I would top pick and play around Janice. The only gods that really counter Janice right now are assassins for the most part, and like maybe Ares, but Ares you can play around very easily. It's mainly assassins, and you just ban the other assassins out all day. Jingwei, weak. Crit's just not in meta, and she doesn't have a one-shot build right now. Yorm, I think, is coming into the game very underpowered. There is no form of Yorm that is strong. Golden Blade is a good early item that is a little busted but falls off, and the rest of the build in the game, you're just falling off. I don't like Yorm right now. I don't know what they're going to do to him. Aspect comes out tomorrow, so the night I'm recording this, the next day it's going to come out. Aspect might make it a little better in support. I don't know. I'm not sold. Kali, I think, has fallen down a bit. I wouldn't ban Kali. I wouldn't prioritize Kali. She's good, but she doesn't feel strong right now. And she has been nerfed like 8 times. So if you're like, what happened? She's been nerfed over and over again. Like all 4 of her abilities have been nerfed multiple times. Her healing is basically non-existent. You get a kill with like in the game right now, you heal for like 15% of your health. It's butt cheeks. I don't like Kali at all right now. I don't think it's a bad god. Just don't like it. There's way better gods. Kepri, fine support, just not really strong at anything. Kukulkan, overhyped a little bit as a mid laner. People are like, it's so easy. You just throw your 3. Okay, bro. Throw your 3 out and then have no true mobility. Have no CC immunity. The ult is actually hard as hell to hit in this game because it's projected from behind you. So it's very easy to read and dodge. I think Kukulkan is strong, but only because of Kukulkan's 1. That's it. The 1 and Polyprox are the only thing good about Kukulkan right now. Loki, I think Loki's fine. You're countered by a little bit of stuff, but you can snowball very easily. Medusa, I kind of like Medusa, bro. I think I'm putting Medusa A. I might put Medusa in my top 3 hunters the more that I think about it. My top 3 hunters might be Ho-Yi, Agni, and Medusa. No, do not play Cuckoo solo. Medusa's gotten some buffs. The 1 hits insanely hard. I think I like Medusa. The more that I'm like processing it now. Aggression, lane clear, ability to 1v1. Not super safe, but like you have a CC immune ult and you do have a dash. It's just a blockable dash. Mercury, I like Merc for his clear time. Crit not being insanely meta makes me hover between B and A, but I think he's a way more of an A because his farm is just ridiculous regardless of how the game is going. Merlin, I think, is still very strong. I wouldn't ban Merlin, but I would top pick Merlin as the other mage comparable to Janus. Mordred, decent solo laner. You need to get early pressure out right now, and Mordred usually doesn't do that. And with all the gods being played, it seems to kind of stop gods that can move. So cripple gods are strong right now. Mordred might struggle if there's there's cripple gods, there's anti-movement gods in the game. Neith is still OP. Neith is still probably the safest, easiest, hardest hitting hunter in the game. Your downside is that you have no CC immunity, but the fact that you can basically never be in a bad position. And I think Neith is just dumb. I think Hyros has Neith in the game so bad people can play gods and still can play a god and still be relevant. Nem, top jungler, top 3, 4, strong, just kills everybody. High damage, go full cooldown. Nuwa, would not play Nuwa. If you don't know how to play mid, play crit Nuwa and just ult on cooldown and you can be relevant for your team. So if you get all rolled and you just have no idea how to play mid, literally this: clear as safe as possible, stay near your tower, only pass safely through the enemy or through your jungle, don't ever go aggressive, and just ult for your team. Go crit, do not go mage Nuwa. Odin, I like Odin right now. Odin solo, not jungle. If you play a jungle, you're going tank, and then you're basically saying team carry me, which I don't like. I don't know if I put it A. I think I put him B. But it's because he has 100% anti-heal in his ult, and people do not want to build Shell right now. They hate building Shell. I really like Odin solo as long as you don't lose lane. Odin's more playable too, but I wouldn't say it's great. I just love having an Odin in late game teamfights. Pele has fallen down a bit, but I still think she's very good. She's just a little bit, a little out of S tier. Poseidon is being slept on right now. Not mid, not ADC. Do not play Poseidon ADC. It's not a thing. Mid is playable, but it's not great. Jungle. With the new int items, Jungle Poseidon is ridiculous. It is your 1 will kill people instantly. It's not the ult. It's not anything else. It's your 2-1 combo insta killing people. I think this is probably the best like magic jungle that you'll get because Aladdin's going to be banned. So you're either, if you want magic out of the jungle, you're playing, it's going to be Aspect Agni, or you're going to be playing Poseidon, I think. Nothing else will work. Ganesha Aspect, we'll talk about it, but it's just not, it's not worth you playing, I don't think. Bari ADC, I'm in between banning Bari when you can. I don't mind her anymore. I think more of it, people don't know how to play her. Your high level players will play it right. Everyone else will play it wrong. If you're in a game and your teammate wants to play Bari, ask them what their combo is. And if their combo doesn't involve them getting 3 1s out, then they don't know how to play the god, and I don't think they should be playing the god. I'm going to say A tier because I haven't been banning Bari at all lately. Ra, I think Ra is fine. It's just still the same god that plays around his 2, and his 1 and his ult are weaker. So I don't like it. He's not safe, easy to kill. Rama, trash. They got to do something about Rama. Everyone says Rama's a 2 active god, and we only have 1 active. So that might be it. I don't know. They got to do something. Scylla, I like Scylla mid. I think it's a top tier mid. I think it's very safe. It's easy to play if you are a Scylla gamer. Like you can be very consistent with it if you're comfortable with Scylla. I would definitely put Scylla above almost every other, all these mages for sure that are in B tier. Sobek, still a very good support, consistent, easy to play. Soul, I like Soul, dude. I like Soul ADC. I really like solo ADC. Being able to go Vital Amp, you scale insanely high off the god. I think I'm gonna put it A tier. I think I'd put it like similar to Apollo, a little less safe, but a little more aggro. You're close to banning Soul when you can. I don't know if I'd ban Soul, but I think Soul, like I'm in between these two. I'd maybe say like a B plus, A minus, maybe, but I do like Soul a lot. Wukong, I have a love-hate relationship with this god. Strength Wukong, I think, is trash, which is crazy because it should be better. Tank Wukong, I think, is complete dog ass, and there's no world you should be playing Tank Wukong. But Int Mage Wukong in mid and even in solo and potentially in jungle, harder to play in the jungle, is really strong. You just kind of play well, I guess not. I think I'd play more Aspect. You don't have to play Aspect. I'd probably put non-Aspect B and maybe Aspect A. Because I think the Aspect giving you the cooldown of your 1 and your 2 when you play the bird form in the 3 makes it viable as mage. And then the rest of the kit kind of takes away from it. So I don't really know if I think I put non-Aspect Wukong in B tier. Susano, I would ban Susano right now. I think Susano is the easiest god in the game for you to jungle and just run people. I think it's the highest jungle damage at level 3, except for maybe CERN Aspect and maybe Hercules. But I'm pretty sure CERN competes with Hercules. Or sorry, I'm pretty sure Susano competes with Hercules. The damage output is just ridiculous. It's the auto attack canceling. Autos do too much damage at that point in the game. I think Thanatos is weak. I think he's just not safe enough. That build I just ran the game before recording this was fun. It was great, but it was weak. It was not great. I would not recommend it. He's just a sad god right now, unfortunately. I also believe his 2 is bugged, and my ult, we literally watched video back. My ult hit a god who was executable twice, and they didn't get executed. I think he might be super bugged, and Hi-Rez doesn't know it. The Morrigan, you got to be the right player to play her. You got to be you need to be maxing out all abilities, everything about Morgan to be playable, and that's just like 0% of the population. Thor, I think, is okay. Still feels kind of like he falls off late, but he's a good god for 90% of the match. Ul, very, very strong, but wouldn't ban. Good ADC, good jungle, good mid if you need physical damage. Vulcan, we got to talk about Vulcan. They nerfed Vulcan in a true mage form. They nerfed the mods for the 1 and the 3. But turret build. The turret build allows you to solo any objective. So if you're a mid laner and you're like, I can never do objectives, you can. I promise you, I've soloed fire, I've soloed everything. You can solo anything you want with a turret build. If you're wondering what the turret build is, I've got videos up. I'll do a video on it when Subathon's done if I need to. I've played it a million times. Highly recommend it. It's super strong. If you didn't know, your turret also gets bonus 25% protection shred, so you can kill tanks. Crazy. Downside, you're a little not safe, but when you play around your turrets, you don't have to be out of position. Your turrets do half the work now instead of you doing like 90% of the work. So you got to place your turrets, place where we're safe, be hidden, be secretive, look for big ults, look for combos over the wall. It's a great time. Yemoja, if you're good at Yemoja, she's OP in support. If you're bad at Yemoja, don't touch her. Ymir, trash. He can't be played anywhere. He dies in support. He can't be played in solo. Jungle, I figured out a fun build now, but it's just not consistent enough. It's bad. Zeus, I think Zeus is bad. You can't convince me. I have not had one Zeus do anything but feed in my games. There's too many gods that make Zeus unable to play the game. I do not like Zeus. I don't think you should play Zeus. I don't think Zeus is better than any other mage in the game. Play every other mage over Zeus, please. Every other mage. Alpha, I literally one-shot you like 6 times. Good try, though. All right. Aspect Achilles will be the same as regular Achilles. It's no different. Aspect Agni. Different roles, same placement as regular Agni. Aspect Agni is so good at jungle. So it can be played mid. It's good in ADC. I love it. Amma, I'd probably put Amma same spot as Aspect. Honor, I'd put Honor same spot as Aspect. I feel like this is preference. I like the Aspect. A lot of people say they don't like it. Aspect Apollo, I think, is more fun than anything. I wouldn't really play it anywhere other than solo, but even then, you gotta have a good matchup. Ares Aspect, it's fallen down a bit. It's not trolling, but it's definitely worse than regular Ares. Artemis Aspect, playable. Would play it in the jungle over any other role. I think the cripple is a must-have for self-peel out of ADC and mid, if you play it mid or ADC. Athena Aspect, I think is trash. I wouldn't play it. the shield movement and damage you do from non-aspect, it destroys whatever this could do. If this did damage when you landed to people, so you ulted an enemy god and you did damage and you landed, this would be OP. Bacchus aspect is a sleeper. It's a jungle sleeper, 100%. It's playable solo, probably B tier solo. It's jungle sleeper. You'll roll games if you're a lower ranked player. You'll just run at people and kill them all day. Baron aspect, way better than regular Baron. I love me some Baron right now. Aspect pumps. Wherever you play it, I would just play aspect. Bologna, still think is weak. Put it with regular Bologna. Serb, I don't like Serb aspect. I think the breath lasting longer is shit, and the ult throwing people is way better. Third aspect, I'm a little biased with this. I think this is like the craziest hard carry god in the game right now, but it's really hard to play because you don't have CC immunity and you have your hard CC is hyper limited. Chalk aspect, I like. I'd put it right up here. Full damage is the way to play. I actually am going to move base chalk down because I was talking about this version of chalk. Full damage chalk is where I'd put A tier. Cupid aspect, falling off. No one's really playing it. Danza aspect, really good at split pushing. I put it right up. Where's Danza? Where's Danza? Where's Danza? Where's Danza? Where's Danza? I put it up here with regular Danza. Fender aspect, I would never play. Ganesha aspect, it's so hard to keep up with clear, and they nerf the ult timer so much that you can still have fun with this in the jungle, but I wouldn't play it. Gab aspect is trash. You want the knock up. Guan aspect is fine. Same level as regular Guan. Hecate aspect, dog, would never play it ever. Like literally, like all these are playable. I would never play this. Hercules aspect, I would never play this. It needs buffs. Aspect Hou-Yi, I think is a little memes. I'd put it in B tier. You're bouncing off walls, which is funny. You get really hard hits with crit, but it's not. Just play CC regular Hou-Yi. Hun Bat's aspect, I like. I don't think you're trolling. I kind of would drop Hun Bat's aspect down. I think I would drop Hun Bat's aspect down to B tier. I think the stun makes you just cause you to lose so much damage. You win early easier than regular Hun, but regular Hun just scales late infinitely better. Yorm, we don't know about Yorm aspect yet. Like I've played it, but we don't really know how good it is. It might be a little better than regular Yorm. I'm gonna safely just put it in B tier because I'm not sure. There's no way till we see more time on it. Kali aspect, I'd put it up there with regular Kali. It's fallen off. They've nerfed Kali. Same reason that regular Kali is weaker. Aspect Kali is also weaker. Khepri aspect is better than regular Khepri, but in reality, they're both weak. And you could play either one and you're doing the same thing. Loki aspect, never ever play. Merlin aspect has fallen off. I wouldn't play this. I'd put it D tier and just play regular Merlin all day with how much cooldown you can get on cooldown items now. That's the shift, by the way. They tried to balance out aspect. They nerfed it a bit. They buffed regular Merlin, and then cooldown items have become heavy meta. So you can play high int, really high cooldown Merlin and be very strong on regular Merlin. Mordred aspect loses pen shred, I believe, with it. So people aren't playing it. So I'm going to put it in D tier. Neath aspect, playable, but kind of weak compared to just regular mage Neath. Aspect Nem, troll, that's a lie. Not troll. Solo lane is very good. Don't play it anywhere else. Solo lane only, it's very good. Aspect Nuwa, that I gotta flip-flop these. Where did I put it? Never mind, I put it here. Non-aspect Nuwa F tier. Aspect Nuwa is what you should play in mid. I explained it earlier. Pele aspect, playable in solo, not that great, but playable. Aspect Poseidon, dog, wouldn't play it. Raw aspect, dog, wouldn't play it. Rama aspect, really dog, wouldn't play it. Scylla aspect, if you're a good support player, Scylla aspect is busted. If you are very good on Scylla, your mechanics on her are god tier. You can play her support and dumpster everybody in the lobby. You can hard carry your match, not trolling. If you're a bad player, don't try to play this. You need time on Scylla. You need to be a good mage Scylla to play support Scylla. Understand that. Sobek aspect, weak. There's nowhere for you to play it right now. It's not realistic. Aspect Soul, I'm going to put it in B tier, but Mage Aspect Soul is hitting really hard. Shmeep played it the other day at 1500 in a regular game, like a close game. A lot of potential there. Wukong aspect I like. I'm putting Wukong aspect in A tier, where I put regular Wukong in B tier. Int aspect Wukong goes crazy. Aspect Thanatos playable, kind of similar to regular Thanatos though. It's maybe I say situational. It's more, can you get away with it in that game? Like, are you going to get out pressured because they have a Susano, they have a Hun Bats, they have more aggressive gods, whatever. If you have a very aggressive team comp, you can play this. Morgan aspect, Honestly, I put it same level as Morgan. I wouldn't shift it. I realize I do think this is a little better than regular, but I think they're both just weak. This is probably overall the safer for your average player. This would be the better one for your way better player. Thor aspect, playable, same as earlier Thor. More jungle than anything. Can I put that in there? Vulcan aspect, I don't like. I really don't like it. You can play it in solo, but you're just the most worthless solo in the world. I will say, if you go aspect Vulcan, you can play around your turrets doing all the damage. You have to go high int. Your turrets proc no yellow. They don't proc Soul Reaver, Soul Gem. They don't proc anything other than they hit hard if you have a lot of int. So you could technically play Vulcan turrets, but the issue is your third mod you go to make your turrets even tankier and to make you tankier. It takes away so you don't get two regular turrets. So I don't think I'd play Aspect Vulcan. And then people are trying to hype up Aspect Umoja. I think it's bad. I think there's a gimmicky play in mid where like you could try to get crazy combos. It just doesn't hit hard enough for you to play over other mages. And that's my tier list. All the gods in C&D you struggle against? Who are you struggling against? Fen farms idiots, but Fenrir is countered by like 90% of the gods in the game. And he insta-dies late game. If a Fenrir goes full damage and threes you, every god can kill him before he can kill you. Every god. If you're a hunter and a Fenrir threes you, auto, you will outkill him. I don't think tank Fenrir is that annoying. You can't be tanky enough. That's the thing. You aren't crazy tanky. You're always killable. Like solo Fenrir's ass. Jungle hybrid Fenrir, you're playing, but you have to be carried late game. Your team has to carry you. Yo, how does my mouse keep dying like the second I stop using it? It's so weird. Like I literally just put it down, dead. And I still keep forgetting to charge it. I have not charged this mouse at other than like 5 minutes for a long time. I need to charge.